I should know this, but have you been panicking about the Redskins start here, knowing that this walk is looming if they don't get to, 6 wins is what it is?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was feeling pretty good at 3-2. Obviously, after the San Francisco win, even though that was a nail biter, I was feeling pretty decent after the Kansas City, even though they lost that one and they were 2-2 going into the bye. I'm starting to get nervous because we're in the meat grinder of the schedule. Obviously, they're 3-4. They're 0-3 in the division, whatever that means. They do need, of course, as I've mentioned, 3 more wins to get me out of this just insane, stupid that I did on a Monday at the end of July when nobody cared about anything on the radio, just to fire some people up and to yell at people. So, I mean, yeah, I'm getting nervous. I mean, Minnesota ahead after this one. This is going to be a loss. Minnesota at home. Okay, they beat them last year, but I think Minnesota's defense is even better this year, and the Redskins' offense is, clearly not as good. And then New Orleans is much better than we thought, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be dogs for sure. I don't believe they're going to ultimately 5 straight. I think they'll get these. I think you might be right. I think it might be Minnesota. I don't know. What chance do you give them this week?
I just don't know if they're healthy enough to beat Minnesota.
Minnesota's defense doesn't give up points.
Right. And last year they were able to run the ball against Minnesota, but that was the game. I believe that was the game that Deshaun missed, if memory serves me correct. I have to double check. But, I mean, the bottom line is you're going to have to be much crisper in all phases of your game to even have a chance at winning this one. And maybe I guess you have a better chance because you're at home against Minnesota, and Minnesota's offense is kind of eh.
I'm trying to look at Minnesota. I mean, all right, so they beat the Packers, and that was with Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah. That was on the Sunday night game. But Minnesota out of the bye last year at home, and I want to say that was the game that Deshaun did not play in, if memory serves me correct, for whatever it's worth.
So I would say the impressive ones would be their performance against the Packers, where they held them to 10, and then they held
they beat the Saints pretty good.
They held them to 19.
Well, look, they've held teams to 19, 26 at Pittsburgh, 17, 14, 17, 10, 16, and 16.
True, but those teams you're talking about are the Browns, the Ravens, the Bears, the Lions, the Bucks.
All right, you hold the Lions to 14 points. I think it's pretty good.
Pretty
they
good.
killed Tampa.
I'm not saying it's terrible.
I'm just telling you they're a good defense.
But I'm saying those are amazing offense.
No. There aren't that many amazing offenses in the league.
Well, exactly.
The problem, just circling back to the Skins, is the Skins have an ability to be, I don't want to call it a very good offense, right? We'd all agree with that. Yeah. The problem is when 4/5 of your offensive line is not going to play or has a chance not to play, 3/5 of it didn't play last year. It looks like they're getting a little bit of good news on Brandon Sheriff, but I mean, I don't think Nsekhe's ready to go. TJ Clemmings in Seattle is just a nightmare. I mean, he's a nightmare to begin with. Mm-hmm. In Seattle, it's even worse. You're asking a rookie center to make all the calls in that environment. Guys, I was there in November of 2011 before Russell Wilson and before Seattle was good. They were 3-7, I think, coming into that game, and you could hardly hear yourself think in an enclosed press box. I mean, that's how loud that place is. Now crank it up times 10, 15, and you're going, again, with a rookie center in all likelihood. You're going with, again, Clemens at left tackle. You might be going with Ari Kwanjo at left guard because Sean Laval is now hurt. He was the only guy coming into last week's game that was healthy, and now he's hurt. So, I mean, good luck.
Yeah, I give him a 5%, and I know, when I think about it, it's just stupid because it's the NFL and upsets happen.
Yeah.
But, I don't feel like it's that much better than that, our chance of winning, other than just they're pros, they're going to fight hard,
right.
And, maybe they'll get some fortunate bounces.
I think they'll be competitive. I think they'll play their asses off. I think they'll make way too many mistakes as they do each and every week. And, last week it was special teams and obviously some offensive things that got them. Fine, whatever. That's going to happen. But it was just – you just cannot make those kind of special teams mistakes and beat good teams, so whatever. But it was really weird. Like while I was watching you guys, and so I was watching some Seattle stuff from last week. And obviously, Deshaun Watson before the ACL injury is just amazing. But you can get this defense on play action if your receivers run crisp, deep routes and can create some separation, and you can just hold up for an extra tick in pass pro. You can get them on deep play action, especially because Earl Thomas might not play. He's been banged up all week. They don't expect him to play. They play a lot of that single high center field free safety stuff. You can get these guys to bite. You can get the other cornerback opposite of Richard Sherman on the right side of their defense to bite on play action, double moves, all that. It's just going to come down to, hey, baby, what do we got in Josh Doctson? You know, I mean, can this guy run a crisp route, which he hasn't been able to always do? Can he hold on to a big ball on 3rd and 7 when it's right in his breadbasket? These are the type of mistakes the Redskins have absolutely no margin for error in this game, next week, the week after. No margin for error. You just can't be normal or, you know, just kind of average. You have to play well above your weight.